Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to Persona on the PSP. When we last left off, we made it to the Ice Castle, and this is what the Ice Castle looks like. Pretty much with all the floors, all the rooms filled in. It's this middle room right here that is not filled in. That's the courtyard, and if you try to go back in there, it tells you the door's frozen, and it won't let you go in. Also off screen, because I forgot to do it earlier, I went back into the that shop right there with the C. I forget what that place is called. It's supposed to be a candy shop, but they sell the Dying Stones and stuff like that. I bought 3 Slick Drops and 3 Turtle Candies, just in case I need them for the boss battle at the end of this dungeon. Because what they do is, there's basically 2 kinds of ailments in this game. You have permanent ailments, like poison, that require a Dis item. So like, to cure poison, you need a Dis poison. And then you have temporary status effects, which the Turtle Candy and the Slick Drop will heal. The Turtle Candy removes 1 degree of an ailment from your entire party, and the Slick Drop removes all degrees from a single person. So they're good for different situations. Make sure you make a save before you go into this tower. That way, in case you need to come out and do some... buy something you forgot, or whatever, you can do so. Because once you go into a tower, you're stuck in that tower until you complete it. Just as this butterfly says. So, just a quick look at my setup here. I accidentally sold his QQ helmet way back then, but it's fine. It's fine. There will actually be a store in the place. There's a velvet room, a save point, a healing spot, all that. I think there's a healing spot in here. I know there's a velvet room. And there's stores. Yeah, there's a healing spot on the 2nd floor. But all of these towers are timed. All 3 of them. Depending on which tower you're in, the clock does different things. Like, for example, you have infinite time to do the 2nd tower, but if you take too long, the boss moves up floor. Like, the boss starts on like the 5th floor or something like that, and if you take more than a certain amount of time, the boss will move up 2 floors, and the level goes up. And then if you take longer, the boss will move to the top of the tower, etc. Anyway, let's see. We want to do. Let's set our. Yeah, we want you to. We want to start leveling up our personas. Put that skip on. Alright, so let's do that one more time, and that way we can auto battle. No, I want you to do this. Now, my main character's persona is already max rank, because, or actually no, I think he might be 6 or 7. He's not quite max rank, but that's fine. He's really close to being max rank. We'll check that. That's what we'll do. Yeah, so he's ranked 7, not 8. Okay. So there's a few demons in here that I want to keep an eye out for. Particularly here on the 1st floor. You don't have a whole lot of time to sit down and grind. Although, actually, probably you do, but there's really no point, because once you leave, once you leave the dungeon, when you're finished, you get a place called Devil's Peak opens up, and all the monsters, because you can't go back into the dungeons once you finish them, all the monsters and demons from the dungeon that you just finished go into Devil's Peak. But to save myself from some time, I actually want to try and get some of the spell cards that I need now, basically. And Pixie is one of the ones that I need. And the best way to do that is to joke. And I didn't get it. Which is a shame. I just got unlucky there. So let's... I'm going to have her keep using Medea, even though it would be better to use Bufudyne to give everybody else a chance to get their attacks off. Let me turn my headphones down. This is way too loud in my ears. Thank you. Now, I haven't talked about it, but if you look up in the top right there, you see that there's a clock right here. You see how it's moving? Well, we basically have until it reaches the red at the top there. Fortunately, the time does not run on battle screens. It does not run when you're in your menu. Basically, any screen where the clock is not visible, time does not pass, which is a good thing. So... there's a few demons that I want to keep an eye out for. This is not one of them. Let's actually have you use something else. Let's just have you use regular old Garu. Because I want to have my personas as high as I can get them in terms of rank. Because when your personas rank up, their stats go up. The strength, dex, all that. Which is kind of meh. But most importantly, your magic attack and magic defense go up. And I really want some magic defense. But doing this will also kind of let me let Vesta catch up, because she doesn't... she's a little slow, like, compared to the other characters. There's a Margear, Flame Shawl, which is a totem item. That's a sword. That's another totem item. Well, I mean, this is the Hypnos Tower, the god of sleep. And as far as I know, time does not pass in these rooms either. Like, anytime... who do I want to put this on? Let's put it on... Ellie. And we want to put the Margear on you. So that's why I didn't buy the Fachart. Now, the Fachart is better. Sort of. It's a guaranteed 5 hits, but it has a lot less attack power. So it's kind of 6 in one, half a dozen in another kind of situation. Ellie is really useful in this dungeon because Koha is very good. Although it unfortunately is only single target. So we are going to hopefully... Did you just go twice in a row? Whatever. So this dungeon is pretty straightforward. And the fact that you have the dash button means you should pretty much never run out of time. Ever. Ooh, that's one of the demons that I want to make contact with. So we want the main character to persuade, if I remember correctly. There we go. There we go. Spell card. There's there's a whole list of spell cards that I would like to get my hands on while I'm here. But if I don't, it's not a big deal. Because you can always go into the Devil's Peak. That's just off-screen grinding that I'm going to have to do. And depending on how lucky or unlucky I get, it can take 20-30 minutes to get all the spell cards. So, yeah. Anyway, these two rooms over here, the first one is a healing spot. The second one is a velvet room. If you need those services, we just came in here, so we don't. These are stores. There are stores in all three towers. And basically what happens, is when you go into these stores, now whatever is being sold in the actual ice castle will mirror these stores, because this is the last place we came into. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and buy a helmet for, I don't normally buy armor here, just because I don't usually have enough money, but I am gonna go ahead and buy a headgear, possibly. Maybe I should buy some golden armor. I mean, because that is a pretty big defense bump. I'm gonna buy this. I'm not worried about missing anything in these stores because, like I said, it goes to the I'm gonna remove those. Let's go ahead and sell that scorpion. Get that money, because I'm gonna forget to do it later. Let's see. We don't need this rapier. Don't need this Apache lance. Don't need this. Don't need this. I want to hold on to the tranquilizers. Let's go in the weapon shop. I forget if there is a gun I want to buy. I don't think so. And if I did buy a gun, it would probably be an assault rifle for Ellie. Yamakumo High. Oh. Yeah, don't sweat the arms dealer. Don't sweat the arms dealer. He's here to help. Alright, so I don't want to buy a pistol. I don't want to buy any of those right now. 2 to 4 hits is just not enough to really use a gun over Persona. Shotguns are kind of terrible. Do I want a SIG? That's 4 to 6 hits is pretty good. But nah. But you might notice here that the flashbangs are the most powerful bullets they sell. And when you leave here, you lose the ability to buy the other bullets. So, at least until they go up for sale in another place. Another one of the towers. Okay, so anyway, we don't want to buy anything right now, except for that helmet, because I sold the QQ helmet. Alright, so I got one of the spell cards that I want. I'm kind of upset I didn't get that fairy. Let's see. Oh, by the way, spell cards. Just so you know, just to remind you what I already have. I started with a zombie nurse and a Preda. Now, that Preda card is actually really important, and I don't want to use it on anything except for the persona that I'm going to turn it into, because I actually cannot get any more with this current party. Unless I get extremely lucky, am unable to get spell cards from those demons. Kind of like in my Sabak playthrough, I couldn't get... there was a few demons that I couldn't get spell cards from, like the Angel, because no one in the party elicits that response. Oh yeah, like you said this before. Clean your plate. And you actually cannot wake these people up right now. But it's important that we do wake them up, because if we do, we get rewarded. You won't escape this time. Oh, I thought she said get it up. I was like, wait, that's vaguely sexual. But no, she's just trying to feed him. And in this room right here, we have the principal and the VP. You know, I'm gonna do something unprofessional here. You're gonna do it away from the microphone so it won't be like super loud, but I'm gonna open a soda. I got a tickle in the back of my throat. I had to kind of wash that down. My allergies have been totally destroying my life lately. But that's what happens when you start to get the switch over, you know, in seasons. All the trees start putting out all this pollen. So basically, that's the choice for this. Like, do you wake the people up, or do you just go on and defeat the god of sleep to wake them up, you know? But no, what you're supposed to do to get the... Oh, that's the wrong exit. I always do that. On these doors, let's see. Is this something I want? I don't think so, no. Agi. I could probably switch her to Agi. Like, Bufudyne is a little too powerful to be using at this stage in the game, because it'll... I don't really want to bogart all the experience to one person at this stage. Although it's actually pretty easy to catch up. But when we leave here, I want to be at a certain level. Ooh, that's one of the demons I want to speak to. Fuji Musimi. So I want the main character to invite. Give me that spell card. You also want to be careful from those. If you're using guns, because they reflect bullets. So if you're coming in here and trying to like auto battle with guns, they'll kill you. You'll die. So keep that in mind. If you want a really good kind of like bestiary that's not just a big huge list of every enemy in the game, on the Mega 10 wiki, at least for the Snow Queen quest, if you look up the individual towers, they have a list of all the enemies that you can find in them. And then they have a list of what they're weak against, what they're strong against, what they absorb, what they reflect. They don't have, like, you know, what you say to them to get the them their spell cards, but that's fine. You can get that information on Game FAQs pretty easily. I think it's where I got it. I don't know. I have this bestiary that I made a long time ago, and that's what I'm using.